We're packing the soil back into the swimming pool where we dug out the concrete. So we hired this Bomag 55E from Jewson's. The guy delivered it. I worked out how to use it for a bit by driving it up and down on the flat. Stopped. Started it again. He did that a few times, but Jewson's very good, and they came out and looked at it 3 times, no, twice. And since that, it's been okay. Adjusted the handle height. It was ridiculously high. I don't know why. And then into the swimming pool with it. Realised it needed a bit of preparation before I could really get it in there, because it needs to be fairly level to use it. So I started off with a rake, realised that wasn't going to really do it. So I had to get in there with the digger just to make the area reasonably flat and define where we were going to use the compactor, a vibrating compactor.
This was really just half the swimming pool. Well,
oh yes,
a
that's
fraction
right.
of the swimming pool, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
but well, about half. We'd already compacted some of the soil in with the digger, which is slow going, but we had to do that to make the ramp so we can get in and out of it. Oh look, you can see a bit of the blue of the swimming pool paint at the end there.
And you'd only dug up half because...
Well, hopefully it was only half that was going to conflict with the foundations of the new house. So we're hoping that we'll miss it now, because we didn't want to dig the foundations and discover the swimming pool while digging the foundations, because I thought that would be more disruptive.
Rob came to help?
Yeah. Rob helped for 2 days on this particular part of the project. It was a great help. And he brought eggs, I think, from his own chickens. So it's pretty much just doing the same thing over and over.
Slow process.
Very slow. I expect you remember swimming in it. You probably didn't swim up and down that fast, though, did you?
No. You dug it quite deep. I suppose none of the other trenches will be this deep.
Well, hopefully not. Well, none of the other foundations that exist are anywhere near this deep. Oh, that's a slight spoiler, because we haven't released those videos yet. But yeah, this was a frighteningly big hole when we dug it out. We brought soil down from further up the garden, because we'd taken all this concrete out of it and other stuff sorted through. We needed extra material, so that grey soil is the subsoil that we find in the garden further up the hill. No one knows quite why it's grey, not orange. I think it might be something to do with ancient fires burning on heathland. And we're mixing it with the soil that came out, the good parts of the soil that came out. Out we go. So you can just see us at the top of the hill. Could have changed the camera angle to advantage. But I speeded it up so you didn't get bored.
Is that the guy from Jewson's?
Oh yes, yeah, he came twice. His name's Paul. He's a good guy, and he serviced the Bomag. And after that time, I think it was, it's never let us down. So he must have done something right. Either that, or I was doing something stupid all along, and then I stopped doing it. It's a horrible thing to use, actually, a vibrating roller. Oh look, we've picked it up with the digger and we put it in the dumper. So overnight it's safe. It'd be very hard for someone to steal it from there. And we've been spotting this wren round our site. And look, it's hopped up onto the exhaust pipe. So this wren, I think I've been seeing this wren for nearly a year around the site, and it's always been quite tame. So we hadn't really paid it much attention, but it's actually got a nest in there. Stick my camera up and show you. Look at those birds. Baby wrens. And they were there all the time. And we observed that the mother bird was feeding them even when we took the dumper up to the top of the garden. So good for them. Clever little birds. Out comes the roller. And a new day begins. There was a big puddle that stayed wet for ages on the side there because the soil that had been packed into there and been driven over a lot with the digger had worked up a layer of clay.
Almost back to level.
Well, sort of. Yeah, it's level with the lower bit, but that's lower than the original level of it. We've taken such a lot of concrete out of this area and other debris that the whole level is lower. We'll probably end up needing extra material initially, unless we can get it out of the trenches we dig for the foundations, which we'll try and do.
Look at that blue sky.
It's been some lovely weather. My friend Pete said, "Don't you get too hot in this sun?" I said, "No, I'm used to working in hot weather now." So there's another load of soil from the top. Here comes the digger down the slope. Quite tricky getting up there. Must be bedtime, or coffee time at least. We snug the digger up with the dumper to reduce the chances of it getting stolen. Another day, and as Paula said, we're almost back to level. So the final bit is just to put a little fillet of soil to reduce the height of that drop off, and then any more we'll just do later on with the digger. Yeah, that's about it. Done.